Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Raakesh Blokhra and I'm recording this video in my home studio, which is also the playground for my band Rockstar Revolution. We rehearse in this space for our performances and we record a lot of music on this computer over here. So whatever you hear comes from this space and that makes this space very, very beautiful. And I thought I'm going to use the same space to reach out to you and talk about my musical instruments. And that's what this video series is about. I got this t-shirt from the Guitar Center, sorry, not the Guitar Center, from the Hard Rock Cafe in Florida. That's the Guitar Hotel. So I'm going to try and at least recycle this and keep wearing the same t-shirt for the entire series so that it sounds and so that it feels a little more in theme and keeps everything together for me. It helps that energy kind of, helps me out a little bit. So in the previous video that I had spoken about my 12-string Yamaha guitar, uh, in this one I want to talk about another acoustic electric guitar that I have, which is also slightly different from the previous ones that we've talked about. If you haven't watched those other videos about my other guitars, this playlist has all the videos. You can just go to my channel and look at all those videos over there. So the next guitar it's a Brownsville. Yes, I always get confused between Brownsville and Brownville. So Brownsville, 4-string acoustic electric bass. Now, I had never seen an acoustic bass guitar anywhere else. None of my friend has it, none of my friends have it, or anybody that I have actually gotten a chance to play. But I've heard these, especially in some jazz or some Mexican bands playing live acoustic, and I really feel like it feels very authentic in many ways. But I walked into a guitar store with one of my friends. I'd gone for lunch and we had to wait for our seat. And there was a guitar store right next to it. So we thought, why don't we go and take a look at guitars? Because that's what I like to do if I'm given an opportunity. And I'm sure a lot of people over here too like to visit music stores and go and play some guitars, right? So walked into this guitar shop and gelled very well with the business owner and he started talking about music and all that kind of stuff and all the guitars that I have. I was telling him about, like, I have a Martin guitar and I have my 12-string guitars and I have this. So he told me, he's like, well, I'll tell you something you want to add to your inventory of guitars would be an acoustic bass. And I was like, I don't even play bass. And he's like, that's probably why you need it. And he just walked away to attend to some other customers. And I kind of thought about it for a second, and I thought it might make sense to have an acoustic bass guitar because usually I do have an electric bass guitar, and it is an effort to connect it to an amp, set the sound that you want from it, and uh, use it for recording or for doing something else, like playing live. Which I won't play live bass anyway because I'm not a bassist, but just the concept of having a guitar, and it's better to have and not need than to need and not have. In case there's a bass player who does not have his guitar with him and he's here, you can just hand it to him, right? So without thinking much, I asked him how much would he give it to me for if I wanted to take it, even though I don't need it. He gave me a very good deal, and it was such a good deal that I don't even feel comfortable talking about over here. And it was like dirt cheap, dirt cheap. This guitar was used, but it is in great condition and it sounds really good and it works pretty fine. The pickups are specific to bass guitar, so it does sound like a bass guitar instead of a rich acoustic sound to it. But it has a character of its own. Like, it might just look like a normal guitar when I'm holding it up here, right? But first of all, it's pretty big in size. Its arm extends all the way, which is very normal for bass guitars because they do have a long fretboard and the frets are spaced out a little more than normal guitars, uh, which is in relationship to the strings because strings are thick and has a decent amount of play because bass players tend to pluck a lot. So it gives you an option to play without hitting the string on a different fret. Um, for me, though, now again, this is one of those things that I did not think about, but how it ended up being useful to me was if I'm composing a new song, and sometimes you just need a bass, either just a heavy bass or a light melody playing in the background, or sometimes your composition can be around a bass groove that you can come up with. So what I normally do is my composition process is that if I find a melody first, then I sing the words or I whistle the melody. Since if I don't have any specific words for that song yet, and I would play it on my phone, then I keep my bass guitar very very close to my ears, and I would listen to my music from the phone speaker and add the bass to it. And I think in my brain I do some processing about where do things fit better, and it became a very significant part of my song composition. So most of my songs, I do have a little bit of touch of this acoustic bass in it. Even though I do use a bass guitar, it is almost never that I've played it for my songs because we have some really, really skilled bass players in our band. My friend Prashant, who plays electric guitar right now for our band, plays bass for a different band, and he has won some awards. He was awarded the best bassist of New Jersey award in 2025. So he's really good. So I would compose a song, then they come in and they do whatever magic they can do to it. My bass does not even, I mean, my bass track does not even hold a chance. And I don't even want it to hold a chance in front of them because everybody's just so creative in our band. But it does help me bring out something to them because the way compositions work in our band is that I would create a song, I would write a song, I would pick up a basic chord structure and then set up a tempo. And it helps me set the tempo too. Like, even though I use a metronome to just get the beat, but this guy helps me get a little bit of a groove. Right, this gives you a little bit of an idea about where the music is going, even though you have a beat, which is very cut, 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 cut. But the bass helps groove it a little bit, which adds a little more flavor to a song. And then I send it to the band, and then they add their work to it and take my bass out of it, right? But this guitar is a fundamental guitar for me. I have almost never used the electric component of it because I don't need to. But it's always used for composing songs for me, and I would never, never, never let go of this guitar. I'm always going to keep it no matter what. The model number is ABG-2C, and it is RBS. I don't know if you can read it. But anyway, so yeah, so this guitar is going to stay with me. If I ever lose it for whatever reason, will I buy this again? 100%, because it is just a part of my life and part of my music journey. I can't envision composing songs without having an acoustic bass with me because of that groove factor, which does help me uh, add a little life to a song that I'm composing. So that's what I have so for this one, and I'll talk about the next musical instrument in the next video. For then, thank you so much for following, and thank you so much for watching. If you are from the tri-state area, please leave a comment. Tell me what state in the US you are from, so we can invite you for the private event that we are planning to do. And if there's any musical questions, that sounds funny, musical questions. If there's any questions around music or any instruments, or if you need any advice, or if you want me to do a video about something specific, please let me know and I will be more than happy to do it. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.